guys, and welcome back to another movie review. First one of the year that I've actually seen in the theater. Saw it twice now, actually, and honestly, if it had been at our local theater that's literally in walking distance, I probably would have seen it every day since it came out because I enjoyed it that much. Because it stars Will Arnett, and getting to actually see his ass on the big screen was like, oh my god, finally, why did it take this many years for this to be a thing? Because usually he does sitcoms or he does voiceovers. If he's actually in a movie, usually they're not even like straight to video, they're like straight to cable. Like 9 times out of 10. Like, I'm not sure if he's ever had a theatrical one that he has had in the theater prior to this where he's a main star. Just saying. So this was really validating to see that, oh my god, somebody else finally is appreciating his acting capability and the fact that he has more range than just comedic. Obviously, there's some element of comedic in this, but it's more of a dramedy than anything. But, of course, I'm talking about the movie Is This Thing On? It's been advertised since last month. I've been waiting for this thing to come out for the better part of a year at this point, so I am very, very excited over this. It is the third movie that Bradley Cooper has directed. He's also in it as a character named Balls. They never explain why his name is Balls. Just throwing that out there just to get the elephant out of the room, because if you read through the Letterboxd reviews for this movie, almost all of them are talking about the fact that his name is Balls. Saying he's the best part of the movie. I don't know that he's the best part of the movie, but he's enjoyable. I'll give him that. But am I the only one who feels like that role could have been played by Jason Bateman? Like, have the whole trifecta of the Smartless cast on here. Like, it would have been perfect. It would have been perfect. Like, especially the delivery on certain lines, I could not unmentally see it is Bateman, especially like the, hey man, I brought bagels. Like, for some reason, it just hit in a way where I was like, Jason should be playing this role. Anyway, so basic loose gist of this movie, which is based on a true story, not Will's story as much as he insists up and down, although there's a lot of parallels of he and Amy in there. Let me just, it is impossible to ignore it, but this is not his life story. Believe it or not, there is a comedian this was based off of. I forget what his name is, but it's not Alex Novak, the name of the main character, but anyway. He insists this is not about he and Amy, even though I'm like, I think a little bit of it might be wish fulfillment of how you wish it had gone down, but anyway. So this is basically a divorce story, where this couple, they decide to split more or less amicably. They've got 2 boys. Laura Dern plays the wife in this, and obviously, like, this dude is floundering, trying to find his footing in his new life stage of being divorced now. I'm not sure if they actually get full-on divorced or they just separate. I think they just separate, actually. But regardless, you know what I mean. So, he's trying to find his footing, and he's gonna go to a bar, have a drink, and finds out the cover charge is $15. And he's like, I'm not paying $15, I don't have $15 on me. And then he sees this woman just walk in, doesn't pay the $15 cover charge. And he's like, how come she just got to go in? It's like, oh, because her name's on the list. It's a stand-up comedy bar. So he's like, fine, put my name down. And he decides to just wing it, treat it like a therapy session, and just goes on stage and pretty much just word vomits, dumps out his life story of his situation in this moment. And it is so raw and so uncomfortable. Actually, the cinematography of how they did this, with the really uncomfortably close, tight crop on his face, it forces you to feel just as uncomfortable as everyone in that club had to be feeling watching this, as uncomfortable as he has to be doing this. I felt that was a very skillful choice of cinematography right there. And it's a thing that pops up throughout this film, just the way scenes are set up. It forces you to feel a thing, whether or not you're even consciously aware of it being, the way it's being filmed is making you feel exactly what you're supposed to be feeling. It does a really good job of it. And I feel like that's a very understated detail that not a lot of people have talked about when reviewing this movie, but, props where props are due. Because, I mean, admittedly, I wasn't super into either of Bradley Cooper's other 2 directorial roles. And yes, I know that the first one was A Star is Born with Gaga. That one really didn't do much for me, and I adore Gaga, as you guys know. So that's saying something for me, especially because the Judy Garland version of A Star is Born is part of my three-way tie of my all-time favorite movie. I'm just saying. It's in a three-way tie with the original Arthur and with Cabaret, so. Anyways. So basically, there's a lot of iconography that goes down throughout this film, too. Some of it subtle, that you realize after the fact the meaning of it. Like the Chinese dancing dragon. I'm sorry, lion. Yes, this whole debate is a thing that is in the movie, where they have to feed it, like, the red envelopes, and if you do that, it signifies that you're going to reach your goals for that year. At the very start of the movie, this is literally the first scene of the movie, essentially, is they're at the kids' school. This is a thing that's going on in one of the, oh god, what is the word? Why can I not think of it? Assemblies. And Alex does not put one in. And look at that, his life falls apart. Later on in the movie, it meant so much to the kid that they had one of these at his birthday party. And I think this time Alex does, and suddenly, oh, look at that, now his stand-up career is taking off. Yes. Yes. But his whole thing, his whole shtick, is basically turning his whole separation/divorce story into his stand-up routine. He sucks at first, like, he is really, really bad at it, and that is intentional. But he gets better the more times he goes back and does it again. The chick from Strangers with Candy was one of the people who's a regular at this club. I was like, hey, I know your face. That's okay. Will Arnett's mom in this movie is Christine Ebersol, and it took me until seeing the credits to realize why she looked and sounded so familiar. My Broadway nerd ass didn't catch that. I am ashamed of myself. Anyway, regardless, so he gets better at this, but he tells no one in his personal life about it. He is keeping this top secret. And it's not until Balls starts I cannot take that name seriously. I can't do it. But, it's not till he starts prying, because he thinks that Alex has already moved on to another woman, figures it must have been an affair that made them split, there's totally another chick that, no, I'm doing stand-up. It's like, okay, well, if you're gonna be that secretive about your life, you're like, no, seriously, that's actually what I'm doing, is stand-up. And he's, like, his only confidant in this, in his life. And it's not until way, way later on in the movie that everything kind of falls apart at the same moment of everyone finding out all at once. In, like, the worst, most inconvenient way possible. I suppose it was bound to happen, but it's just like, you're sitting there watching this, and you're watching a progression of, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, like, oh my god, no, 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 like, you see the train coming a mile away, it's like, this is not gonna end well, no, 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 and it does not end well, because, Laura Dern's character ends up in the audience of this show, realizing that, oh, the details of their life are his stand-up act. She didn't even know he was doing stand-up. She didn't know he was gonna be there. She was on a date with fucking Peyton Manning, who just appears out of nowhere for one scene, and then he's gone. It's like, wait, what? I'm sorry, what? What the fuck? But, there's a lot of people who pop up throughout this movie like that. But, anyway, so she's like, no, 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 I want to see this, which is totally unrealistic. No woman ever would be like, no, 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 I totally want to stay and watch my asshole ex just, like, dump out the details of our life as a stand-up comedy act. Like, no one would want this. So, I mean, a little bit of suspension of disbelief went out the window with that one, if you ask me. But, you know, anyway, beside the point. So she sticks around long enough to hear him say how, for the first time since his split, he's hooked up with another woman. And it was awkward, and, like, goes way too into detail. And she gets mad and she leaves. But on the way out, he finds out she was there, and he goes running after her, because clearly he is not over her ass. And, just like Will and Amy. But, I kid, do I? I don't know. But, anyway. And then they're talking. And suddenly she shifts gears to, that's so hot, we should hook up. Like, I'm sorry, what the fuck just happened? Like, this is where they kind of lost me a little bit on this movie, because I'm like, no, stop, no, like, God. Okay, whatever. So now they've got a clandestine affair going on that they won't tell anybody about because they don't want to confuse the kids by them hooking up when they don't even know if they're going to work out or anything or if they're going to get back together. It's a whole messy thing. And they're hiding it from their friend group, too, who, oh yeah, by the way, Sean Hayes is in this. And I did not know going in that Sean Hayes was in this. It's like, oh no, my old shame. Oh no. That interview is never seeing the light of day. It will haunt my nightmares the rest of my life. But anyway, apparently Kimmy had never heard the story behind that, so on the way home from the movie, I filled her in on that. She may be the only person who ever actually gets to hear that besides the two people who were directly involved in it. So anyway, I might do a storytime video about it one day though. But anyways, he's basically a background character who barely shows up. Again, in the Letterboxd reviews, people complain that the gay characters didn't even get names, except they did though. They did have names. Go on their IMDb page. Yes, they did. And I think they are mentioned all of once each in this movie. So they technically did get names, but they are such background characters that they are more or less forgotten about. But yeah, it's really kind of just an active diversion thing away from the main plot that really doesn't serve much of anything, if you ask me, other than a means to an end of being able to insert balls into more scenes without it being completely awkward. There is no way of talking about that character where it's not going to be awkward. But, God damn it, Bradley Cooper, why? Anyway, so, they're carrying on, and they're thinking for maybe half a minute in time there that maybe they're gonna get back together, until it's the same old bullshit that it's always been, and they blow up again! Except in the 11th hour, and like the last minutes of the movie, he shows up, he's just like, I wasn't unhappy with our marriage, I was unhappy in our marriage, so let's be unhappy together. Like, I'm sorry, what? Stop it. All the people who said this is Men Would Rather the movie, it kinda is. I see the complaint. I agree with the complaint. On the other hand, I still enjoyed it, even with all of the weird complaints I have about it. I did enjoy it, though, a lot. And I hope that a more skillful director gets a hold of Will next and makes him a lead in something else and utilizes him to his full capability in a movie that is not directed by Bradley Cooper. But, like, I see so much potential with that man, and everyone rolls their eyes when I say it. But at least Bradley Cooper gave him a chance. Do I think this is gonna win any awards? Unfortunately, probably not. I wish it would, but being realistic, it probably won't. But maybe, but at least maybe it will get the attention of other directors that, hey, maybe we should give that Will Arnett guy a try, casting him as a lead in something else theatrical that's also dramatic, that has moments of comedy interspersed throughout it. He really, I think, could be properly utilized better than people have given him thus far in his career, but I digress. In terms of an actual rating of this, I give it a 4 out of 5. Only because I feel like this film lost its way in multiple points, and it kind of meanders in directions where it didn't need to. There's a lot of scenes where I'm like, that could have been left on the cutting room floor and you would have lost nothing from this storyline. Like, you could have probably trimmed out at least a half an hour, maybe even 45 minutes worth of that film, still had the same plot, lost nothing, but at least trimmed the fat. Like, I'm sorry, why did we need that entire rendition of Amazing Grace in the kitchen that serves no plot function at all? At all. Even having seen it twice, I still cannot make heads or tails of it. It's the main reason I was going through the Letterboxd reviews was to see, did anyone else make sense of that? And apparently no. None of us can make sense of that scene. If you know what the meaning of it was, please leave it in the comments, because it is making me insane trying to figure out what the fuck was the point of that. But otherwise, I mean, it was an enjoyable film. I would have preferred if they had used the David Bowie version of Under Pressure like they did in the ads, but they did not actually use in the movie. They used a weird little kid version cover of it, and I'm like, oh. If I had known it was gonna be like that, could we have just had maybe, like, a portion of the song instead of being forced to sit through, like, a child recital of the whole song? This is what I mean by you could have trimmed down a lot, not lost anything, the point would have still been made. The symbology would still be there. The symbolism, I'm sorry, symbology is not a word. Iconography is a word. Symbolism would still be there. I don't know. And I say that as somebody who doesn't really like kids at all, so I'm like, yeah, the less scenes with the kids, the better. So, like, just get them in the background somewhere. Like, they can exist, but, like, go away, please. I mean, there was a few cute scenes of Will with the boys, but, like, for the most part, it's like, God, they're driving me up a fucking wall. But, like, I get it for, like, trying to flesh out the whole family dynamic. It was important to have them there, because if the kids weren't in the picture, they could have had a quick, easy, neat, tidy split, never would have had to have thought about each other again, there'd be no movie. So I guess they had to be there for the movie to happen, but I'm still like, can we not? I swear, the older I get, the less and less I like kids at all, just existing. But anyway, still, I give it a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Even if it confused me at multiple points and multiple directorial decisions. Overall, I enjoyed it. Overall, I thought it was good. I think it could have been better than it was, but I think it was still good. And I really, truly hope this is the start of us seeing more of Will on the big screen, because it needs to happen. Come on, let this happen. Somebody give this man more chances on the big screen, please, and thank you. That man needs an Oscar. Thank you. Anyway, that's it, so see ya.